If you've been in real estate for 15, 20, maybe even 25 years or more, I want to ask you a question. Did you ever actually build a lead generation system? Or did business just come? Past clients called, referrals showed up, your phone rang, someone you sold a house to 5 years ago sent you their sister, you went to a networking event, met somebody, and 6 months later, they became a client. And because business kept coming, you never really had to stop and ask, where is my next client actually coming from? But now, something feels different. The phone isn't ringing quite as often. The referrals aren't coming quite as consistently. The things that used to work don't seem to be producing the same results. And suddenly you're thinking, what happened? That's exactly what we're talking about today. The lead generation system you never built because you never had to, until now. Are you a woman in real estate whose mind never stops, yet you still feel stuck? Do you struggle to unplug without guilt? Hi, I'm Lisa Fry, wife, mom, grandma, realtor for over 3 decades, and a certified life and business coach for women in real estate. I help high-achieving women build profitable, sustainable businesses without the burnout. If you're ready to trade overwhelm for clarity and create a business that honors your values and your life, you're in the right place. So take a deep breath, close those 12 browser tabs, and drop the hustle. It's time to experience balance as a woman in real estate. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to personally invite you to something I created specifically for experienced women in real estate. If you've built a successful business, but lately it feels like your business is demanding more of your time, energy, and life than you want to give it, this is for you. On Tuesday, September 15th at 7:00 p.m. Eastern, I'm hosting a free virtual 60-minute masterclass called Build a Business That Supports Your Life. We're going to talk about how to create a successful business that supports your life, not consumes it. I'll walk you through my ALL framework, Align, Learn, Leverage, to help you define success on your terms, create better balance and boundaries, and use systems and support so everything doesn't continue to depend on you. We'll also have 2 guided breakout exercises so you can apply what you're learning to your own business. Because at this stage of your career, the question isn't whether you can keep doing business the way you've always done it. The better question is, do you want to? If you're ready to build a business that's profitable, peaceful, and sustainable, while still having room for the life you want, save your seat at lisafry.com/MC3. The link is also in the show notes. All right, let's dive into today's episode. Welcome back, my balanced business women. I am back from a wonderful vacation with hubby and the grandkids. We had a phenomenal time. I'm well rested and ready to go. I hope you all had an amazing week last week. This episode actually came from a conversation I had recently over dinner with 2 friends who are also colleagues. Both of these women have been in real estate for more than 20 years. They're not new agents. They know this business. They are phenomenal at what they do. They've built relationships, served clients. They've experienced different markets. They've been through the ups and downs that come with being in real estate for a long time. And as we were talking over dinner, they both said essentially the same thing. Business feels different now. The leads don't seem to come as easily. They don't seem to come as steadily. And as they were talking, I thought, they're not alone. Because I believe there are a lot of experienced women in real estate having that exact same experience right now. Maybe you are as well. And if you are, I want you to hear something important. The problem may not be that you've suddenly forgotten how to do business. The problem may simply be that the business you built was designed for a different environment. Think about how many experienced women built their businesses. You worked hard, you took great care of people, you built relationships, became known in your community, you stayed connected, you earned people's trust. And over time, your reputation started doing a lot of your marketing for you. One transaction led to another, one relationship led to another. Your sphere grew, your database grew, and eventually you could look up and realize, I haven't really been prospecting, but I'm still getting business. And that's a beautiful thing. That's what happens when you've spent years doing good work and building relationships. But here's where it becomes a problem. Because the business was coming, you may never have needed to build an intentional, repeatable lead generation system. You had lead generation activities. You had relationships, referrals, you had your reputation, but you didn't necessarily have a system. And there is a difference. A system answers some very basic questions. How are new people consistently discovering you? How are you staying connected to the people who already know you? How are you nurturing relationships? How are you following up? How are you moving someone from knowing your name to having a conversation with you? And ultimately, how are those conversations becoming clients? If the answer is, well, most of my business comes from referrals, I want you to go one level deeper. How are you intentionally generating those referrals? Because I get referrals isn't actually a lead generation system. It's a result. The system is what you're doing consistently that creates that result. And for many experienced women in real estate, that's the piece that's missing. Not because you did anything wrong. You simply didn't need it before, but now you do. And here's where I see women getting into trouble. When the leads slow down, panic starts to set in. So you start looking around at what everyone else is doing. And then you start thinking, maybe I need to post every day. Maybe I need to do a video. Maybe I need to talk on TikTok or start cold calling. Maybe I need to buy leads, or maybe I need another CRM. Maybe I need to send more emails or attend more networking events. Maybe I need to start a YouTube channel. And before you know it, you're trying to do 7 different things. And now you're exhausted and you still don't have a system. You just have more activities on your calendar. And you know what I say all the time. Your business should never require you to abandon yourself. That applies to lead generation too. I don't want you spending every waking hour trying to find your next client. I want you to build a business where lead generation is intentional, consistent, and sustainable. There's an important distinction here. You probably don't need more lead generation activities. You need to decide which activities actually belong in your system. And I want you to think about that system in 3 parts. Part 1 is visibility. How are people finding you? Where are you consistently showing up? Maybe that's LinkedIn, Facebook, maybe it's networking, maybe it's community involvement, maybe it's speaking. It doesn't need to be everywhere. It needs to be somewhere consistently. Part 2, relationships. How are you staying connected with people? Your database, past clients, referral partners, people you've met through networking, people who engage with your content. Are you intentionally nurturing those relationships? Or are you hoping they'll remember you when someone says, do you know a good realtor? Or do you know a good lender? Or do you know someone who can help me with this? Part 3 is follow-up. This is the one we don't talk about enough. What happens after someone expresses interest? What happens after someone responds to your post? What happens after you meet someone at an event? What happens after someone says, I'm thinking about making a move sometime next year? Do you have a follow-up process? Or are all of those people living somewhere in your phone, your email, your social media inbox, or worse, in all of those places, or in your memory? Because if your lead generation depends on you remembering everything, ladies, that's not a system. That's mental load. And mental load is one of the reasons so many women feel their businesses are consuming them. Now, I don't want you to walk away from this episode thinking everything you've built for the last 20 or more years doesn't matter anymore. Quite the opposite. Your experience is an enormous advantage. Your relationships are an advantage. Your reputation, your knowledge, all of those are advantages. The trust you've built is an advantage. You don't need to throw all of that away and become somebody completely different just because the market has changed. You need to put some structure around what you've already built. That's the shift. We're not starting from zero. Thank goodness. We're taking 10, 20, 30 plus years of experience, relationships, and credibility and asking, how do I turn this into an intentional system that supports the business I want today? Not the business I had 10 or 20 years ago. Not the business someone on Instagram says I should have. The business I want now. And this is the piece I really want you to hear. Because when business slows down, there's a tendency to believe the answer is always do more. More calls, posts, more events, more hours, more hustle. But if you're an experienced woman in real estate, especially at this stage of your life, I'm guessing that's probably not what you want. You don't want to rebuild your business by giving your entire life back to it. You want your business to work. You want it to be profitable. You want consistent clients. And you also want time for yourself and your family. You want to travel. Maybe you want to take a Tuesday afternoon off without feeling guilty. You want to go to dinner without checking your phone every 5 minutes. You want to enjoy the life you've worked so hard to create. So the question isn't, how much lead generation can I cram into my week? The question is, what is the simplest lead generation system I can consistently execute that produces the business I want? That's a very different question. So here's what I want you to do this week. I want you to take out a piece of paper and answer these 4 questions. Number 1, where did my last 5 clients come from? Not where you think most of your business comes from. Actually look at your last 5 clients. Where did each one originate? Number 2, what am I currently doing every single week to create new opportunities? Not occasionally, not when business gets slow, every week. Number 3, where are leads or relationships falling through the cracks? Is it follow-up? Staying in touch with past clients? Is it visibility? Your database? Be honest about the gap. And finally, number 4, what are the 2 or 3 lead generation activities I can realistically commit to doing consistently? Not 10, 2 or 3. Because we're not trying to build a business that requires you to constantly chase people. We're building a system. And systems create consistency. That dinner conversation with my friends reminded me of something. Sometimes the things that got you here aren't the things that are going to take you to your next chapter. And that's okay. You don't have to abandon everything you've built. You don't have to become a completely different businesswoman. But you may have to become more intentional about something that used to happen naturally. For many experienced women in real estate, Lead generation is one of those things. You never built the system because you never had to, until now. And maybe that's not bad news. Maybe it's an opportunity to build the system differently this time, more intentionally, more simply, and in a way that actually supports the life you want to live. Ladies, if what I talked about today sounds familiar, if you're realizing that some of the ways you've been running your business simply don't fit the woman you are or the life you want anymore, I want to personally invite you to join me on Tuesday, September 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern for my free masterclass, Build a Business That Supports Your Life. Because lead generation is only one piece of this. We're going to look at the bigger picture, how to continue creating success in your business without allowing that business to consume your time, your energy, and your life. If you've been thinking, I still want to be successful, but I don't want to keep doing business like this masterclass is just for you. Registration is now open, and you can find the link in the show notes. The link is lisafrye.com/MC3. That's LESAFRYE.com/M as in Mary, C as in cat, the number 3. I'd love to have you join me. And remember, your business should never require you to abandon yourself. Until next week, make it a productive day on purpose. Hey ladies, I hope today's episode gave you something to think about and a little more breathing room as you move through your week. If it resonated, I'd love for you to share it with a friend, hit follow, and take a moment to leave a review. Your reviews mean the world to me, and they help more women find this podcast. For more support and connection, you're welcome to join my free Facebook community at bit.ly/thebalancedbusinesswoman, where we continue these conversations together. That link will be in my show notes. Until next week, take care of yourself. And remember, your business should fit your life, not the other way around.